Well, I'm a firm believer in kind of betting on myself or investing in myself. I'll take the same couple $100 and I'll go buy a piece of equipment like this, and I'll double my money or triple my money come Christmas time. All right, well, welcome back to the shop, and following up with our little Z50r build. You know, we brought it in, we went over how we got that, we put an ad out, and somebody contacted us, had one back in the shed, and so we did a will it run, and we got it running, and that's always, you know, the best feeling when you take a gamble, and when it pays off like that. It's just, you know, the best thing ever. And so let's go over what we've done to it, and kind of tell you what the plans are for this machine. And you'll also see some new machines in the background. I brought those in this morning, and we'll kind of address those too. So let's get the little 50 out and take a look at it. All right, well, as you can see, what we did is you know, basically just kind of freshened it up a little bit. It's certainly not a restoration. It's not a, you know, it's not a 100-point build or anything. It's just kind of fixing, knocking the ugly off of it and getting it ready for the next person. The next person, if they want to do a frame off, that's up to them, but they're starting with a running, driving, stopping, dependable Honda piece of equipment. And so, you know, anytime I get something small like this, a CT70 or a Z50, I always reach out to my buddy Josh Yule at Vintage Honda Minis out of South Florida. He's the go-to guy, and once again, he pulled a rabbit out of his hat. And if you remember when we brought this machine in, it had a bent lower left front fork, and you know, you're gonna have to replace that. There just ain't no way around it. So I called out to Josh, and sure enough, he had some sitting on a shelf, and he sent them to me along with a few other odds and ends. This machine, what we did is basically freshened it up. I used a lot of really simple, you know, tricks just to clean it. We went through the carburetor, of course, on the will it run, put a fuel filter on it. We cleaned the tank on the inside. We freshened up the plastics. We just did a really good clean with those. It's not spray painted up. It shows really well. It shows exactly what it is. It's a 20-something-year-old mini bike, but we did really good on it. I cleaned the grips up. We did have to replace and find a new switch, so we did that. This particular switch came with the handle. We went with new cables for the throttle and for the brake. As you see, we've got the new throttle down there on the brake. I did not paint every single thing here, but I did touch a few things up here and there just to kind of give it an overall. As you can tell, it definitely shows better than when we brought it in. Cleaned the grips, pulled the grips off of it and cleaned them really good. I mean, they were just nasty, but they cleaned up excellent. Seat looks really good. The color's really nice on the machine. It starts, runs, and drives. It pulls me around, which I'm 3 times what it's rated for. Was able to source some really good original tires, takeoffs off another machine. So we got new tires on here to this machine, and they have great tread on them, and they're not trailer tires. A lot of guys are putting trailer tires on here because they can't find this size. But again, new tubes, new tires, new lower forks, greased and repacked the forks. We put a new switch on it. Went through the carburetor, put a fuel filter on it, cleaned the seat. The plastics were all in very good shape. As we got them, they were just dirty, and we cleaned the inside of the tank. And that's really it. We've probably got 4 hours or so in the machine, and it's ready to go. We've already put it out on Marketplace. It should sell pretty soon. If not, that's okay too. And so I kind of wanted to address that and the 2 machines over my corner, over my shoulder in the corner. And I met a guy in my probably early 20s, and he was a family man, and he liked to tinker with tools and things. And what he did is he called this his Christmas club. And what he would do is he would buy, he dealt cars and trucks. And so he would buy a car or truck in the summertime and work on it slowly in the evenings when he had free time, and he would get that car ready for sale come late November. So he had about 3 months in it, whatever, you know, it needed is what he did. And come 1st of December, he'd start marketing that vehicle to sell it. He mainly dealt with older cars from the 70s, performance cars, old Mustangs, Camaros, that kind of thing, or four-wheel drive trucks. Now, we all know the hunting season starts in late November, so you have not only a gift kind of situation, but also a need for four-wheel drive trucks. Everybody's looking for a four-wheel drive truck come hunting season. So he knew his market, and because he knew his market, it's a numbers game, and you just kind of work backward from what the market would stand depending on what you're selling. And that's exactly what I have behind me. This is my Christmas club. Same for the little mini bike. If I sell it today, that's great. If I don't, that's fine, because come Christmas time, these kids' ATVs get a lot more valuable. You're going to get a lot more money for them. You're going to be able to sell them a lot faster. So I'm not going to cut the price. You see guys, they put stuff out there and they keep cutting the price until it sells. That's not what I'm going to do. I know what these machines will bring come Christmas time, and if I have to sit on them till then, that's fine too. But we've got some really, really nice machines here. But as for the little 50R, I can't be more happy, you know, with it. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. I think it represents well. It starts and runs well. It pulls me around fine. Just a really, really neat little pocket bike, if you will. So let's go down the breakdown of the cost on this one, because that's kind of something that I kind of share. I don't keep that a secret from you. So this machine come Christmas time is $1,500 all day long. I mean, you just, either a collector's going to want it because it's what it is, or maybe somebody's going to want to put their kid on it. Either way, it's a valuable product. You should be able to get $1,500 for this machine running and driving like you see it now. So we paid $200 for it. We've got about $250 in parts. The parts I've already rattled off what we put on it. So we've got right at $450 invested into a $1,500 machine. If we need to come off of $1,500 a little bit to get it to move before Christmas, so be it. But we're in a very good position to make a good profit on this machine. And you're going to see that a lot. That's how I buy machines. I buy them non-running generally. I know what the market's going to bear, and what that means. You've heard me say it before. I know what the market is for these machines, what they should sell for in a specific condition, running and driving condition, what they should sell for. If you know that in your area, then you just start there and you kind of work backwards. I like to do things kind of in halves. So simple. If this machine is $1,500 for sale on Marketplace at Christmas time, then I need to be all in. $750 is buying the machine and fixing the machine, and that gives me a $750 profit. It's pretty simple. If you start knocking your price down, all of that comes out of your profit, because you're not going to get any refund on those parts or your labor for that matter. So of that $750, the profit, we need to really, if you want to split that in half, you can split that again, and now, so then you're at $375. So you got $375 in parts, $375 in labor. Some people want to work it that way. I kind of bunch it all together. We've got $450 in this machine. So I think we're in really good shape. We'll be able to sell it and make a good profit on it. So that's it. That's the Z50R. It's a fun little machine. Being an adult, you really want to flip these handlebars around because they catch your knees every time you try to ride it. But let's go over the two new additions and all the things that they come with. You're going to see later videos on each one of these. We may even do a shootout on these. I don't even know how soon we're going to market them, but how I acquired them was I actually went after the Scrambler 90. I went to the gentleman's house. We met this morning. Nice little machine. We made the deal, and while I was talking to him, he had quite a few machines. He had the TRX 90. Didn't know, nobody, he didn't know I was going to come look at it, and we just got to talking. And he was like, well, I've got this 90 sitting out here. You want to look at that? And I was like, well, yeah, let's go look at that too. We go out to the 90. I kid you not, 2 pulls and it starts up. Now it's a little rough looking, but it runs. And if you're new to flipping things, you want to flip something that's mechanical, that has an engine on it, try to find something already running. You can make pretty very easy, very affordable, and then you don't have to worry about the mechanical side for your first couple of flips. And then as you start flipping and do more and more machines, start taking on a few more harder to repair vehicles, machines, and you'll kind of learn, and that'll be your education basically. You can't start off running. So what we've got here is a 90 Scrambler. Now this is a 2-stroke. It's in resale red. Take a good look at that thing. It's pretty complete. looks good. Now this is electric start. It's got a kickstart backup. Got a little crack here on the plastic, nothing too terrible. This machine, if you're not familiar with it, has two tanks. One is a secondary tank for two-stroke oil, and then you have your primary tank. Most people, honestly, they don't put any oil in the secondary tank, and they just run a premix here. That's what the previous owner did. That's what I did in the last one of these we had. Nice little machine. They're really solid. This one's missing a few things. This one's missing some grips. We're gonna have to put some grips on it. But other than that, I know that's really minor. Other than that, the tires are a little dry rotted, as you can see, but not to the point where we got to replace them. I think everything looks good. The chain sprockets look okay. Keys hanging out of it. I think this is one of those Amazon keys, you know, aftermarket keys. We're gonna have to put that back in there. Just really a good all-around, you know, kids ATV. I mean, these are electric start, no gears. You literally get on it, give it gas, and it goes. It's a variable drive, like a golf cart. A very, very dependable design. Personally, I like gears, but you know, it's not for everybody. It's a great starting four-wheeler. And so I'm happy to have that one. Everything seems to be intact. Everything seems to be there. So that's going to be a good one. And I'll tell you, our power's been flickering here. I've got some brake shoes there, and the flag goes with it. That's all kind of part of it. But this was the surprise. I didn't go after this one. This was a complete surprise. This is a Trx 90, I think is what it is. Kids four-wheeler. Let's pull it out here. It's got all the plastic pieces. They're a little rough. It's had an accident, but I think we could probably clean that up a little bit. Personally, I don't even like this on here. It's going to show that we're missing a key having it on there, but we'll see. We'll see. Nose piece here is not the original nose piece, but it will go back on. We got new brake cables inside. This was set up for his son to ride. The previous owner's got new brakes front and rear. Tires are original. These are the original Atsu tires on the back here. Just a good looking tire. They're worn. They're not perfect, you know, they got plugs in them, but they all hold air and they ride and roll. So we're good shape there. He literally pulled this out, and with 2 pulls it fired up. I had to buy it. I just couldn't pass it up. He didn't even know I was coming to look at it. So it wasn't one of those situations where it was warmed up before I got there. His big concern here was that fuel was actually dripping, and it was, as you can see, because it is. And in the fuel line, that's the wrong fuel line. That's not gonna cut it. So I think what we'll do is we'll probably strip this one down, take the plastics off of it, clean it up. A lot of extra parts. We've got extra brake shoes there. We've got some footwells. I don't think they're the right ones, but we might be able to use them. These are broken, but it's pretty minor here. A little footwell here. I don't know if that's something we can. It originally came around and picked up on this bolt. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fine machine. The icing on the cake on this one is I got a full set of graphics. I mean, the entire set of graphics for this particular machine. So I think that's going to look real good going forward when we get it together like we want. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't sell. My goodness, it's a Honda and it ran. Out of the blue ran. So I'm excited about that one. You know, it didn't smoke. It was dead cold. You gotta love that. But that's why we deal in Hondas, right? Y'all hear the rain coming in? Now it was literally, y'all, I kid you not, we had a heat warning today of 106, I think. And 2 hours later, it's raining. So I'm not going to complain. I'm happy. I've actually opened the garage door. It was, when I came out here, and it was cool, the rain had cooled off so much it was colder out there than it was in here, cooler anyway. But yeah, there you go, and that's it. And that's a sharp looking setup right there now. I got my own mini dealership going on. But when you see opportunities like these, and that's why you can't do this every day. It's when an opportunity comes up, and like I said, the second one just kind of fell in my lap, so I had to pick it up. I was already there. I didn't have to go find it. I didn't have to hunt for it. I didn't have to drive across town. I was standing at the man's house. He had some other stuff. We may be able to go back, so that's always good, you know, to have that opportunity. He's got, I'm not going to tell you what he's got, but he's got something else I'd like to have. So if he sees this, he'll probably reach out to me. He's like, well, I know what you want. Yeah, we talked about it. But that's it. This is Christmas in July. This is how you can build your own bank, you know, for saving up for something, is just invest in yourself. If you're new to flipping, find something like this Honda that's already running. I mean, all you got to do is really make it pretty, and as long as you buy it right, then you really can't, I hate to say it, but you really can't go wrong on that. But that's it, guys. That's flipping 101. That's how you can do work now, and even sit on it until maybe a holiday, or if you're dealing in something that's like a four-wheel drive truck, or even a four-wheel drive four-wheeler that's going to sell better during hunting season. Your lifted four-wheelers, they're going to sell twice a year better than any other time of year, and that's going to be spring when everybody's out mud bogging, and fall when everybody's out hunting. And so keep those things in mind when you're buying and selling. There are seasons that these things sell better. If you're in the snow country, y'all know that all too well, that, you know, nobody wants to ride one of these when there's 4 foot of snow on the ground. So maybe that's the time to buy and fix, and then be ready come springtime for you guys. But here in the south, I know it's raining right now, but our crepe myrtles are blooming. This does not show any. It's better in person than on camera, but it is gorgeous. We've had the most rain. Our grass is beautiful. I've been cutting it like every 6 days, so I like cutting grass, but don't tell anybody. So that's my Christmas club. That's my Christmas fund. And what I mean by that, like I said, is we will take these, we will go through them. I'm not in a hurry to sell them. If I have to hold on to them a couple months, get them ready for Christmas, so be it. And it's an opportunity it's better than putting money in the bank. That's the bottom line. That's what it comes down to. You go take a couple $100 and you put in the bank, and come Christmas time, 4 months from now, they're going to give you back about 3 cents. And they go, yep, that's the interest that you've earned. Well, I'm a firm believer in kind of betting on myself or investing in myself. I'll take the same couple $100 and I'll go buy a piece of equipment like this, and I'll double my money or triple my money come Christmas time. As for the little 50, I've already got it listed for sale. I don't really want to put it on the track and get it dirty and then have to clean it up again. And I really can't turn it real well. I'm kind of big on it. So it's, you know, the handlebar's kind of hitting my knees. It's a little difficult. But a good build nonetheless. Let's see if it makes a winner out of me or not. And just like that, we take $450, we bet on ourselves. We'll see if we'll turn that into $1,500 by Christmas. Y'all have a good day. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. It does great for the channel. And put something down in the comments. Say hi, say bye, say something. That triggers the algorithm probably more than anything else, and it helps the channel because YouTube sees that there's interaction. And if you have a question, put it in the comments. I read everyone and still answer every question. So if you got a question, even if it doesn't pertain to Z50s or 90s, put it in the comments. I'll figure it out. I had one the other day. A person commented on one video about another video, and it took me a little while to figure out what he was asking, but we got it straightened out. But yeah, it's a great way to talk back and forth. Subscribe to the channel. You'll have perks along the way, and you can reach directly out if you need something. If I can help you, I'm happy to do so. No expert, but I'm willing to try. You have a great day, and we'll talk soon.